Well, thank you, Randy, and thank you, Randy and Travis, for having me. So I'm Nathan Webb, Chief of Mount Airy Rescue Squad. Um, for those of you that don't know a lot about us, I kind of want to give a little bit of background about the department, and then I'll get into the SARS-CoV-2 response that we're in right now and things like that. We're a completely volunteer agency with around 32 members. No one is here 24/7. We all respond from home whenever we get a call. We're the only heavy rescue organization in Surrey County, so that puts us as a resource for the whole county as well as counties around us in Virginia and places like that. And basically that just means that we can handle any type of rescue that comes about that may happen. We answered around 1,800 calls last year, which makes us the busiest department in the county, except for our paid EMS service, paid sheriff's office, and paid fire department at the city of Mount Airy. Other than that, we're the busiest department in the county, busiest volunteer by far, and busier than some of our paid departments. So our 32 people do a lot for the community, as well as hundreds of hours of community services, into the thousands of hours accrued together for training every year. We still have to keep up certifications just like we were paid personnel. So it's a lot of dedication that these men and women dedicate to the community. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what we do there. So the coronavirus has affected us just like it has everybody else. We all need haircuts too, and we're all having to respond to these calls. Obviously we don't get the luxury of staying at home all the time, but it has been challenging at times, but for the most part it's been pretty good for us. We've had a great response from our community, our business partners helping us, as well as local resources and tried resources. Just to give you an idea, I've got some kind of show and tell stuff here, but we've had things donated from our local business partners such as isolation kits, masks. Of course, everybody knows what an N95 mask is. Up until 2020, nobody knew what that was unless you were in the medical field or construction. But we've had things like that donated to us, and that's really helped. We actually had a stockpile of N95 masks from a couple years ago. A local business owner donated those to us, a construction business owner. So we were fortunate to be more prepared than some, but definitely, we're doing well right now with the PPE that we have for our members and for our for people that we respond to as well. We are going by the CDC recommendations, which can be found at cdc.gov. And those are recommendations as far as what personal protective equipment we wear on these calls. We have cut our response to some extent. This is a statewide protocol that came down from the North Carolina Office of EMS, and EMS, Surrey County EMS, and all your county and local EMS agencies are first out to respond. If a question, there's COVID-2 questions asked for every call now that is called into the 911 center, and should any of those questions meet a certain protocol, which is SC2 protocol, unless absolutely necessary, the first response agencies aren't paged. Now, of course, we're paged first on any kind of rescues, wrecks, fires, things like that. But on your standard medical calls, if any of those questions are positive, like the patient has traveled or been recently hospitalized for an unknown respiratory illness, or has been tested or been around somebody that's been tested or been quarantined or isolated, those type things don't get us a call that we would normally be responding to right away. Of course, EMS does have the availability to call us if they need us, and that has happened a few times. Since we are volunteer, all of our members have PPE in their personal vehicles, or have the option to have PPE in their personal vehicles, because oftentimes we're responding in our personal vehicles. We try to get a truck en route, but a lot of times for medical calls, we may be out and about around town and be closer to it in our personal vehicles. Our lower call volume has been nice, but at the same time, the acuity or critical level of our patients, when we get to them, we've seen an increase in that, much higher acuity patient. And we're, the medical community as a whole has seen this, and it's largely attributed to the fact that people are, for lack of a better term, scared of hospitals right now. They think they can go to a hospital and catch something, which the hospitals are taking, above and beyond precautions of even what we're doing. And people are calling when it's sometimes too late, or when they've suffered a whole lot longer than they should with something. So we're seeing our even though our call volume is lower, we're seeing our acuity go up. So it's taking more people to take care of these patients because they're serious in nature patients, you know, people that should have called hours, days, or weeks ago. These are things we're seeing now. As a department, we know that this is going to affect us financially, just like it is every business and agency in the community. And we've had a few officers meetings. Before I get into the financial stuff, I'll kind of tell you how our operations have changed too, even further here. Since the beginning of March, we have not had any meetings. We've been doing Zoom meetings as well. All of our trainings have been put on hold. We have 2 to 3 trainings every month, and that has been put on hold. There's nothing that's going on here at the station other than our regular duties, and those are just to check our trucks off, make sure our equipment's ready. We still got to have everything ready to respond. So those are happening. But when we are here at the station, we're following social distancing guidelines. In May, we're looking at coming back. There's just some things that we have to do, that we have to be here to do in meetings and things like that, especially this time of year, getting to the end of the fiscal year. So we are going to be coming back with social distancing rules. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of that goes when we're coming back to the station here. But talking about the upcoming financial climate of what it looks like, we've done some preparation with the officers. We've been operating on a less than normal budget for the last 5 years, and we have cut it even further this year, cutting out any non-essential. I hate using the word non-essential because we've all heard it till we want to puke it up, but we've cut out anything non-essential we can out of our budget, such as cable TV here at the station, or switching to different vendors for different services that may be able to save us a few $100s a year. So we've done things like that. We know it's going to hurt us in our mailer. If any of you live within our 177 square mile district, you get a letter from me annually that is requesting donations. We are not tax-based like our local fire departments are. The 5 rescue squads in this county are heavily donation driven. And I postponed that letter this year in favor of, people being furloughed and people not having jobs at all or being laid off. I felt like it was in bad taste to send that letter out when we normally would have. So we know that may hurt us in some of our donations this year. So, we may not be able to, our auxiliary, we have a great auxiliary here at our department, and they do a couple fundraisers for us a year. One is a bingo that they've been doing annually for the last several years. And if you've seen them, we do a discount card. We don't even know that we're going to be able to do the bingo just because of social distancing regulations. So we know, things like that, we're trying to prepare for the future and, try to look into alternative fundraisers and things like that we may be able to do to cut our operating costs. But overall, we're doing well. We're still responding to calls. We're still out there in the community. You may not see us as much on community services and things like that. All the ancillary stuff like that has been cut out. But so far, we've been very fortunate to come in contact with few cases and have, not as heavy call volume as we normally have. Normally, our call volume, those 1,800 calls shakes out to be 5 or 6 calls a day. And we're down to about, 3 to 4 calls a day right now. So it has been nice in a way. Right. But that's about all I've got. I do want to tell you all one thing that Travis wanted me to mention, and I talked to him about it this morning. I was able to organize a thank you to the Northern